Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with another challenge accepted. This week we're taking on, Shannon and I are taking on what was the November Secret Not Secret party 10 item challenge. And this is something that at each party there are these 10 items. You get as many of these 10 items on your layouts, and your layouts count for extra points. So it's always a fun list, and the idea is to get one or two or three. What Shannon and I are trying to do is on our layouts for today, each of us is going to try to use all 10. So the 10 items are rub-ons, cork, black cardstock, stamps, texture paste, stars, animal die cuts, wood veneer, something glittery, and puffy stickers. So I kind of combed through some photos and figured out which photo I'd like to use, and I'd let that kind of dictate my design. This is a photo of me on one of my very first business trips when I started my career. I think the vintage it's about 1972, and I was up in Calgary at the Calgary office for my company, and working on heading up a project. I was kind of young and stupid, and didn't realize how cool it was, I guess, or how important it was, how big a deal it was for someone so young to be leading such a big project. So my favorite thing was that someone who had worked for me back in the Tulsa office had moved back to Calgary, and he and his wife took me to Banff. And this was probably my very first, the whole trip was my very first exposure to snow and 30 below zero weather. It was February or January, I think, in 1972, and it was really cold. This is a not very good picture. It was a good picture when it was taken, but I put it in an album that wasn't acid-free, and it kind of deteriorated. So to pick up some of the colors, I ran it through a filter, the waterlog filter, which I have on my phone, and it really brought out, that's a purple leather coat, and of course wide leg pants. Who in 1972 wasn't wearing wide leg pants? Looking out over a beautiful forest of trees with the mountains rising, and it picked up the purples, and it was just a beautiful photo. So I thought I'd use this and then build my design around it. Okay, so first thing that I'm going to use in this is the black cardstock, and I've built, I don't want this to be a really long video, I have built built some of the layout ahead of time. I want this to be something of a mountain scene. I'm kind of trying to, I tore some cream colored paper with a wintry design on it from my Christmas collection to kind of look like mountains, and I distressed the edges, kind of folded them back. Let's see if I can figure out what that paper is. I have it right here. It's an Echo Park I Love Winter, and this is the reason I bought the paper, but of course this is the side I'm using. Okay, so I kind of thought that I would slide the photo in there. I tore one sheet all the way across, and then I tore the high mountain kind of part way, and I popped it up on some foam tape. So we'll go from here, just kind of adding in the things that the challenge calls for. They're rub-ons, okay, and I have a rub-on from this set. It's Fancy Pants designs, and I think this is the St. Nick. Yeah, it is the St. Nick collection, and I think I bought 3 packages of these because I love that St. Nick collection, and I've used lots of all the papers and the other embellishments pretty much, but I still have these rub-ons, so I can still have a little St. Nick anytime I like. So given that that's probably going to be the position, I thought I'd start adding in some of the elements. This is a snowflake rub-on, and I'm going to have a million different snowflakes in a million different materials. So I thought I'd just go ahead and rub that one on. It isn't going to show a lot, and my stamped snowflakes are also not going to show a lot because, and that's okay. I just I don't mind that there will be just hints. Okay, so that one's really, you can kind of see that. I actually like that. That's unexpected. It's not quite what I thought. Okay, cork is the next element. So I've got these adorable, I had this die that I use for card making, and it's a couple reindeer. I'm actually going to call them moose because I saw moose on that trip. We actually saw lots of goats, mountain goats, and deer. I thought I might have this guy right here and maybe turn this one the other way, kind of right there. There, that makes them even. I'd like this guy maybe closer to the top, have them at different heights. Okay, and I just, I used the die cut it out of this little sheet of cork. I love cork elements, and this event called Calvin Ball that I participate in every year usually gives points for cork, and that's when I first got a couple sheets of cork from a, let me put that on a pop dot, kind of have it at a different elevation. Anyway, I bought this a couple sheets of cork and punched small elements so that they were kind of subtle on the page, and I still have some bits left. Okay, that's good. I'm trying to keep the little bits off the floor. Okay, cork, black cardstock we've got, stamps. Now, I got a couple of snowflake stamps in my advent calendar from the Secret Not Secret Kit Club. I subscribed to the advent calendar this year again, and it has fun little things. I've put one on each side of this block, and I'm going to use Distress Oxide ink. And to be honest, I tested it on some black cardstock, and this is what the spun sugar looks like. The iced spruce is a little bit more subtle, but I'm going to go with them anyway. So let me do the spun sugar on here. Just going to put it over close to the rub-on, okay? And I didn't put that on perfectly, and that's gonna have to be okay. I have other elements that we can layer on. kind of fill that in. The iced spruce is a really nice color. I wanted subtle colors. I didn't want bright colors. I wanted the colors. In fact, the only real colors are going to be in the photo. So let me put this down here and kind of press that in. Okay, again, very subtle, not particularly colorful. Okay, the next is texture paste. Okay, I'm gonna do the texture paste last because it's gonna have to dry. And what I'm gonna do is just find a spot where I'd like one of these snowflakes, and that's going to be determined by where the other elements go, and I'm going to use this texture paste, so I've got to kind of put that there. Stars, and I've got these stars, which I think came in last year's Advent calendar kit, and I'm going to intersperse the stars around the cluster here, or kind of close to the snowflakes. Maybe do something like that there. Okay. And next we've got animal die cuts, and I'm going to count one of these reindeer as cork and one as an animal die cut. It's an animal and I die cut it. Let me go ahead and adhere where did my adhesive go? Here it is. I've put the list on top of it. I'm going to go ahead and kind of insert that. Okay, that works. So texture paste, stars, animal die cut. Wood veneer. I have a couple of wood veneer snowflakes. So I thought I'd add those in, maybe one right here. Yeah, I grew up in South Louisiana, and it snowed, I think, when I was 11, in February of my 6th grade year. And we have a photo of our house all covered in snow, and by 4 o'clock that afternoon it was all melted and everything looked normal, and the next day the grass was green, and there was no sign snow had ever been there. So going someplace where the temperature was 30 below and there was this persistent snow was just fascinating to me. I thought I'd do this as my title. I like the shape of it. I thought I'd overlap that, but then when I distressed it, it wouldn't sit at the right height. I couldn't keep it even. Okay, level, let's say. Something glittery. Now for glittery, I have in the same scale as those tiny reindeer, I have this. This is from Quick Cuts, and I think I bought it when one of the local scrapbook stores went out of business. It's just a book of Christmas-related dies, and it's magnetic, so it holds nicely. And I love this set of little tiny trees. So it kind of makes the trees look far away, and that's kind of what I'm going for. So I cut those out of white glittered paper, and I will glue them in. I think I want the it would be nice to have it up close there, or maybe here. I'll do that here. And I'll do the tiny one back here. Or maybe there. I think I'll do it here. If I were making a different page, I might do 2 or 3 sets of them, but I kind of wanted this page to be fairly spare with the emphasis on the snowflakes. Something glittery is there, and puffy stickers. I've got these stars are puffy stickers, so you can count one as a star and one as a puffy sticker. So I think I've got all the elements except texture paste. Rub on right here, cork here, black cardstock here, stamps here and here. Texture paste we're gonna do, stars, animal die cuts, wood veneer, something glittery, the trees, and the puffy sticker stars. So I'm going to add in, I have never used any of these metal, these are Moments, I guess, is the Momenta brand metal snowflakes, and I've never used any of them. I kind of like this one. It is metal, and it really does bend like thin metal, and this is the tiniest little square pop dot, so I can't get that pop dot off the paper. I maybe should have tried that beforehand. I'm gonna maybe put this here, and I'm hoping that glue dries clear and matte like I'm always saying it does. I thought I'd do this snowflake in the texture paste, and I'm looking now for I usually have a roll of washi tape that I can use to tape things off, and I have this washi tape which I actually like, but I'm going to use it anyway. I think I can keep this fairly clean, and it's going to probably be the most prominent of the snowflakes because it's going to be a white texture paste against the and where is my knife? I'm not going to use this because I'm going to need it. Let me step away for just a second, and I apologize for that. I could swear to you I brought my knife in here, but apparently I didn't. So I have a very small palette knife here, a little kind of abbreviated one, and I find it's good for controlling things when I am just doing one of a number of images on a stencil. It doesn't reach out much, and it just holds a small amount of paste. Let me get that there. I did the exact thing that I did not want to do. So that means I have to put another snowflake in that area to kind of cover that up. And what I'm finding here is that I had too much paste. So lesson learned, on a small image like this, I really don't want there to be a lot of dimension in the paste. I want to level off the top, if you will, kind of like leveling off a spoon of flour or sugar. Okay, let me do this. Okay, that came out nice. Let me wipe the texture paste off of the stencil, and then I'm gonna set about filling things in. I'm actually going to add a couple other elements that could kind of cover that up, but I think a metal snowflake would work. I need something with a little bit of something like that. That can go. It's not really ideal. Okay, there. That kind of covers it up, I'd say. So now what I'm going to do is kind of add in some tiny, really tiny elements. I have all the elements that are required for the challenge. I have this, and I tested these. This is the Nuvo Crystal Drops that dries clear. So I thought I'd put a few of those around. And then I have this glitter dimensional design adhesive paint. I'm not sure where I got this, but I have red, green, and white. I think I got it one time when I was making Christmas cards with the kids. And as evidenced right here, if you have too heavy a hand, it comes out kind of gloppy and nasty looking. If you use just a little bit, it has the glittery part is on top, and then it has kind of a wet look below it, which I actually kind of like. So I thought I'd do a fairly light touch of it, and I'm having to be careful here. I have there's my knife I had intended to use. Let me see if I can open this up. I just used it earlier this morning, and let me test it on here to make sure it's coming out, make sure it's flowing, and let me see how heavily it flows. Okay, just a tiny little bit. I'm only going to do this in a few places, not too heavy a hand. I want all this black. Oh my goodness, that's way too big. It's started coming out heavier than I thought. Let me see if I can scrape it up. Okay, and that looks like a good spot for another metal snowflake. What do you think? What's a design I haven't used? This little star-like design. There you go. And since that the glittery stuff that's on there is an adhesive, that works. So let me see if I can do just a small bit. This isn't as easily controllable as Nouveau Drops or Viva Decor glittery type products. So I think it's better for other kinds of uses. I'm not a fan, but I thought since I have it, I thought I'd use it. Now I'm going to do a few more of these clear Nouveau Drops. Kind of scattered around, maybe making triangles in areas. There I did the same thing that I did earlier. Let's go with something right here, and then I'll put one down here. Okay, I've got just random little drops. I don't think I have anything here. And this looks like I could use something there. Okay, I'm gonna call this finished. It's a simple layout, a simple title, Happy Winter, and I will have some journaling. This goes into a career album, and it's gonna have some journaling about that first business trip. I see something that we didn't exactly fix. We've got this little area here let's see, do I want to layer another? I do not. I think I'm going to leave it as it is. It's imperfect stamping, and that's okay because it's all about being handmade, and most handmade things are not perfect. Okay, let me put that away. I'm going to end this. It's a simple page, some torn snow-capped mountains, some reindeer, aka moose, and some black cardstock to have a nice snowy night sky with a few stars interspersed. So thanks for watching. Get out there and accept a challenge and put some pretty stuff on paper. Bye.